This video is about patterns, piece A3 in the 23 to 24 initial grade pieces book. Not a lot to say about this really. I think it's just a question of plenty of practice hands separately and then very slowly putting them together. Both hands stay in the same position all the way through. Both hands, you'll notice, are in the treble clef. So the left hand, little finger is on middle C, right hand thumb is on the C above that. So this is your hand position, C, D, E, F, G, C, D, E, F, G. And they don't have to move at all from that position, which is quite good. So I think I'm just going to play through it hands separately first. Notice that there's a lot of repetition. Basically, the second line of the music, you can't see on the on the camera, but it doesn't matter. The second line of music is basically the same as the first, with just two differences. One difference is the dynamics. So the first line is meant to be played loudly, F for forte. Second line, P for piano, so you play that quietly. And the other difference is in the fourth bar of the line. The first time you have, and the second time you just have. So same note, but instead of playing three times, you just play once for two beats, take it off on the third beat. Likewise, the second half of the music, the final line is basically an easier version of the third line. The first three bars are exactly the same, and then the fourth bar, instead of doing a more complicated thing, you just play a single note in each hand. So I'll go through the right hand first of all. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Off on the third beat then. So in that second half, by the way, notice these bars. It says forte, but notice there is an accent on the second note of the bar, the longer note, the minim D. So in other words, you emphasize that a little bit more. Something like that. So emphasis on the second beat of the bar. As I say, pretty straightforward. It's just a case of learning the notes, really. Most in these quaver runs, it's mostly steps. In fact, it's mostly steps all the way through, but we do have some skips, of course. So watch out for the skips. Okay, so left hand, again, first half is the same thing twice, except it's simpler the second time. So now this isn't marked either legato or staccato. I tend to play these a bit detached, but you may find it easier because the right hand has to be legato. You may find the left hand, you may find it easier to play left hand legato as well. So I think I'm going to do that for now. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Not legato there, of course. Quieter here. 2, off. That last note is slightly unexpected. We expect another C. So that's one thing to watch out for, because if I play the second half more quickly, Up to there it's all G's and C's. G's and C's again here, sorry. And we're expected to go there, but it doesn't. It goes to E at the end. Good. Now, I mentioned legato and staccato. Where that is most likely to be an issue is in bars 10 and 11, and also bar 15, which is the same as bar 10. I don't mean 10, I mean 11 and 12, sorry. Bars 11 and 12, and also 15, which is the same as 11. So the right hand is playing legato. The left hand can't play legato because it's repeating the same note. So try not to do this. As you may have heard me say before, the hands tend to copy each other, and if one hand has to come off the keyboard because it's repeating a note, the other hand will often tend to as well. But with a little practice, it's perfectly possible not to do that. And one way to practice that, in this particular bar, for instance, is if you do it slowly enough, you can basically take your left hand off as the right hand hits the E. Just take care to keep the right hand touching the keyboard all the time. Takes a little practice just to get used to doing that. Once you can, it will become easy. But it does take a little bit of practice. Okay, I don't think there's a lot more to say. Practice it thoroughly, hands separately first, then slowly put the hands together. So I'm going to play through it really slowly, and then I'll play through it once more up to speed, and hands together this time. So just one bar's count in here. 1, 2, 3. Off on the third beat. Off, remembering that final E in the left hand. Okay, as usual, I'm not doing the repeats here, so let's play through it once more at a faster speed. We'll try that speed. 1, 2, 3. And remember to hold the last notes exactly for 2 beats. 1, 2, off on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Nice and neat. Okay, I hope that was a bit helpful. That's the end of that video.